gotta say, there's some flying, skipping rock material here. So I'm gonna have to take a pit stop really quick. I'm gonna try to set up this camera on some rocks here to record the skip, if possible. Got some decent ones. You know, not perfectly rounded, but hey, you can't complain. The best place I've ever seen with skipping rocks had to have been Ruby Beach, I believe it was called, at Olympic National Park. They were all ovals. Really all. Decent. Not all of them are oval, but there are some that are of that shape. Like this specifically is what is at Ruby Beach. Like I swear, like a lot of them, if not all of them. I'm not actually getting good skips. There was one I got like a good 7 or 8 or something. I'll try to get the POV, I guess, here. So the trick, and I try to tell people this, so it's kind of like that. It's part of the wrist. You're using your whole arm, but ultimately it's kind of to facilitate the wrist flick at the end. Because I mean, ultimately I can just do that, and I could get a skip. But so that's like step 1, is the arm movement to the wrist flick. And right when you are like in the middle of the wrist flick right there, you want to do this with your pointer finger. Obviously my thumb, I won't be doing that with my thumb. It's just there to kind of support so I don't drop it like that. But, so, yeah, pulling with this finger as you toss it. So wrist flick and pulling with the finger. So I'll just show kind of in the hand. So you do that. You also kind of pull back, I guess. I like pull my hand towards me. And you know, I probably don't have like the professional method. There's like people with 80 skips that they get. It's preposterous. But I don't know. This is kind of the method I've learned over time. Like, you know, self-taught, I guess. So wrist flick, bend of the finger, or like you kind of curl it off that finger. That's how you give it that spin, is curling off finger right in the middle of the wrist flick. And then I guess I pull my hand back towards me to like increase that spin. And sometimes I release it way too high like that. So another thing, I guess, is to kind of, you want to release it along the plane of the water, not directly, because if you're releasing on the exact same, it's going to kind of fly. And you don't want it to be too sharp of an angle because it'll cut right through the surface tension. You want it to be just down enough to where it will curve towards the water and not get that kind of pull from the wind, I guess, or like too much spin. But just enough of a downward angle to where it can hit the water and kind of graze it to just bounce. You know, and you don't want it to bounce too much, because if it bounces too high up, then it will just get one skip or two. I mean, you might get a cool high bounce, but you know, if you're trying to get like 20 skips or something, I would suggest the low angle. And yeah, kind of like that, like just too much of a downward angle. Maybe like heavy rock sometimes that affects it. And you want the smooth edge as opposed to like a rougher edge, because the rougher edge will more so cut through the surface tension. A smoother edge will assist in the bounce rather than like cutting through the water. I get it sometimes. Obviously, the best case scenario is if you have waters that are completely calm. And this is not terrible, you know, but there is a little bit of waves here. But there's, I guess, a little tutorial on how to skip rocks.